In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the screen on the iPhone 6 Plus. If you want to see any of the other repairs, go ahead and click the links in the front menu. Here's the iPhone 6 Plus, and with the giant screen, it is prone to breakage. So what we're going to go ahead and do is take out the bottom two screws. They are the pentalobe screws, the same screws that are in all of the other iPhones. If you need any tools or parts, check the video description. I'll have everything linked down there. Take your suction cup and lift up on the screen, and that'll allow you to slip your pry tool in between the screen and the frame of the phone. Pry up very gently because you don't want to damage the screen any more than it is. And then you'll be able to lift the screen up. Don't lift it up past 90 degrees or you'll put stress on the ribbon cables that are underneath this metal plate. Take off the 5 screws, then you can remove the metal plate. And then each of these little ribbon cables is kind of like a Lego. You just unsnap them from its little connector and then lift it up. There's 4 little connectors underneath here. After the 4 connectors are done, the screen comes up, and your replacement screen probably won't come with the hardware. So I'm going to show you how to transfer all that to the new screen. Start with the earpiece. There's 3 screws on the metal bracket. Lift that up. Then you can grab your earpiece out. Once again, replacement parts are in the video description. And then you'll probably need to move over the little plastic bits as well. They're glued down, so just unsnap those from the old screen. And then you can lift off the ribbon cable contraption. This will also be linked down in the video description below, so if your proximity sensor or your front camera is messed up, go ahead and check that out. There's 2 screws holding down the home button. Remove that bracket. And then there's one more of those little ribbon cable connectors right here, so just unsnap that. And then you can press the home button out from the front of the phone. Lift up the little circuit board as well. Make sure not to put any stress on the ribbon cable at all, or else your fingerprint scanner won't work when you install it again. There's the home button and fingerprint scanner. There's a bunch of screws around the outside edge of the metal plate, so go ahead and undo those. And then the bottom ribbon cable is still glued to the frame, so make sure you pry that up very gently, and then the metal backing will come away from the screen. There it is, along with the fingerprint scanner. And then you can transfer all those parts over to your new screen. Once again, these are linked down in the video description below, so if you need to buy a new one, check there. Place that metal bracket back down on the phone again. Over the little ribbon flap that's underneath the earpiece, make sure it's on top. Get all the screws back in along the sides. Now let's get the home button in place. Just press it gently down. The glue that was on it before should still be sticky, so it should just stick right back in there how it was. Clip that ribbon cable. You'll kind of feel it snap in place just like a Lego. Get the 2 screws on the bracket back in. Pretty straightforward. Now with the earpiece section, you want to get that little bracket in place. Once you get the ribbon cable on top of it, it'll hold the plastic better than it is right now. Fold each part individually. Place it exactly where it needs to go. It's kind of like a puzzle. So if each part isn't exactly where it needs to be, it's not going to fit very smoothly. Slide the earpiece in between the cables because the top part of the ribbon cable has the connections that make the earpiece work. Get the camera down in the little plastic hole, and then the metal bracket goes right over the top. And it should fit very easily, lining up very easily with the holes. If it's not fitting easily, you should probably lift it up and make sure everything's positioned correctly. Now that all our parts are on the new screen, we can go ahead and clip it back in. Once again, you got to be really careful with these ones. You don't want to bend any of the connections. So make sure you position it directly over the connection and then press down, and you'll feel it snap in with your fingers. I keep on referencing Legos because that's exactly how it is. Now if your screen has lines through it, when you turn it back on, there's a chance that one of these ribbon cables didn't get snapped on correctly. So turn your phone off and then lift up the screen again and make sure each of the connections are good. I mean, there's a chance that your screen is bad, but check the connections first. The connections are good on this one, so now I can go ahead and put that metal bracket on. Turning the phone off first because you don't want to work on it at all while the phone is on. Now the metal bracket with the 5 screws, get that back into place. And the top of the phone has these little grooves that you want to slide into the frame. Get that first, and then you can press down along the edges, snapping each of those little things back into place as well. Remember, don't use a whole lot of force or you're going to break your new screen. And that is not the direction you want to go. Once your screen is snapped in, you can turn it on, make sure the bottom 2 pentalobe screws are in, and you are set. Thanks a ton for watching. The best thing you can do for me is just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do put up videos fairly often, and it does mean a lot to me. Thanks a ton for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I do respond fairly regularly, and feel free to check out my Instagram. I think it's pretty fun.